Hey everybody. Well, maybe as you have heard, or maybe not, the conviction of Bill Cosby has been overturned, and the 83-year-old has been released from prison, or shall be released from prison as of today. Give us about 30 seconds and we'll talk about it. Hey, everybody. This is your girl Sis-Lo with another newsworthy update. And today we're here to talk about the breaking news story as of about 2 hours ago that actor, philanthropist, comedian Bill Cosby will be released from prison sometime today if he's not already home or en route to his home after his conviction had been overturned by Supreme Court. Now, we know that a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on this situation, and we know that a lot of people may not be happy about this situation. Then, there are quite a few people that are probably celebrating this situation. I have to say that I'm really on the fence about this thing um, for more reasons than one. But let's read what we've learned so far. Bill Cosby has been released from prison after the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania vacated his 2018 conviction on sexual assault charges and judgment of sentence, according to the court's spokesperson. Cosby was sentenced in 2018 to 10 years in a state penitentiary or state prison for drugging and sexually assaulting Andrea Constant at his home 14 years ago. Girl. Hold on. Let me put you on here, sister, if you can. I don't know if you can. I know you doing what real working people do with real jobs. But I'll put this up here. So, Cosby was sentenced in 2018 to 10 years in a state prison for drugging and sexually assaulting Andrea Constant at his home in 14 years ago. Now, Cosby is free on procedural issues irrelevant to the facts of the crime, an attorney who prosecuted him said. Now, this is the prosecuting attorney. Oh, sis. This is a process. Well, you got to do what you got to do, though. This is the prosecuting attorney that's saying that Cosby is free on procedural issue irrelevant to the facts of the crime. Attorney who prosecuted him saying this. So Bill Cosby is free on procedural issues. That is quote unquote irrelevant to the crimes, to the facts of the crime. The Montgomery County District Attorney who previously prosecuted Cosby said in a statement, "I want to commend Cosby's victim, Andrea Constant, for her bravery coming forward and remaining steadfast throughout this long ordeal, as well as other women who have shared similar experiences." District Attorney Kevin Steele said, "My hope is that the decision will now dampen the reporting of sexual assaults by victims. Prosecutors in my office will continue to follow the evidence wherever and to whomever it leads. We still believe that no one is above the law, including those who are rich, famous, and powerful." Now, that is the prosecuting attorney. However, according to the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania, the judgment of the sentence was revoked or overturned simply because there was some foul play on behalf of the prosecution. in that files that was not, I'm sorry, I try to go live when nobody else is really doing it. I really do. It's not, that I try to do it when you're working or something, but I try to do it when, so that I can be there and support you when you go live. So I'm sorry. But there was some foul play with the prosecution. According to court records, the prosecutor called 5 witnesses that were not supposed to testify in this case, and that in part prejudiced the jury, and which led to an unfair conviction, according to Mr. Cosby's representation. Also, there was a civil suit that had been filed, and in that was a deposition, and the deposition was sealed. Well, this judge allowed, even though the prosecutor of the civil trial promised and said that document could not be unsealed or used to convict him in any other case, the judge allowed them to unseal that deposition in a case that already had been settled. They allowed him to open that unsealed document and use it in order to get a conviction. Now, anytime the prosecution pulls situations like this, it's because their burden of proof is beyond what they can prove. Just remember that the convicted or the one being prosecuted, the defendant, is innocent until proven guilty, and the burden to prove the guilt is on the prosecution. If the prosecution cannot justify his or her case, hey Harper Shine, sugar. If the prosecution cannot justify their case, that's when they start pulling out all stops. Okay, so there are tricks to the trade on either side. In this particular instance, the prosecution lost, the defense won. Now, will there be an opportunity for him to be retried in this situation? Well, it's kind of tricky. Simply because the first trial ended, remember, in a hung jury. That's why they had the retrial. The retrial is when the prosecution pulled out these additional stops to gain a conviction. So now, with them being overturned in the Supreme Court, they can go back and try to get a retrial for him to get another conviction. But this time it's going to be a lot more difficult to gain that the right to send him to another trial. Not to mention that this man is 83 years old in a few days. He'll be on July 12th, I believe, he'll be 83 years old. Not to mention that, I'm sorry. Not to mention that there are other things, other witnesses that have since said other situations, and people that are not interested in going through this situation again, and all this other thing. Well, you heard that they can't try him again because in some situations people would consider this a double jeopardy. But the legal analysts are still going through the court documents to see if, in fact, there is a Pennsylvania law that says that they can go back and retry him if the prosecution presents a case strong enough, which is going to be hard to do. Sis, I just read up on that part and just looked at the latest updates on that, and that was within the last 20 minutes or so. So they really don't know just yet. But in any other case, it would be considered to be double jeopardy, and they wouldn't be able to convict them. But Pennsylvania has a law on the books that goes way back. I can't think of the name of the law right now, but I'll get it for you. So here we have. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say this. I won't say that he's innocent. I won't say that he's innocent. But I'll say this. These incidents happened 20, 30, some even 40 years ago, sister. This man is a multi-millionaire. Why is it that they waited 2 weeks before the statute of limitations was over in order to try to bring conviction on him? Why at this particular time at 80 years old? He was 79, 70 something, 80 something, almost 80 when they first started. Not to say that right is right and wrong is wrong. It is. If he was wrong, he was wrong. And in some situations, I believe, but guess what? There were quite a few people that said that some of them were getting high back in that time. That they were not, it wasn't called popping mollies at that time. They was doing quaaludes, uppers and downers. And they were getting high at that time. And they would get into all types of sexual acts. Some of them said that they slept with him in order to get jobs, to be cast for certain movies or situations, to get work. A lot of them said that they did that. So my thing is I don't think that at 80 years old, after 40, 50 years, if you let it go that in that length of time, the statute of limitations was up. And now I don't say that they couldn't have taken him to civil court, but to put this 80-something-year-old man in prison for something that he did 30, 40 years ago, I think is ludicrous. I really do. I do. I don't say that it was wrong. I myself am a victim of being sexually assaulted when I was younger. I don't expect to go back at this particular time, even though I don't care for the people. Trust me, I don't condone what they do. I will keep other people's kids away from them. But I think that I will be 55 years old this year. And things that happened to me when I was 6, 7, 12, whatever, that happened. Some of those people aren't even living anymore. So to go all the way back, somebody, I just don't think I think it's ludicrous, honestly. Now, Tanya, you said, let me see. A lot of people don't come forward when the person who assaulted them are famous, because a lot of times they are not believed. They cannot afford to hire a good attorney. Okay, but she took a loss. Do you understand what I'm saying about she got money? She got paid off. Do you understand what I'm saying about that? She took a lawsuit. She sued him and won. She sued him and won before that. Before there was even a sexual conviction. She sued him and won. It was about the money. And I'm just saying, it was about the money. Regardless how long they took to file charges, I still believe that he is guilty. Besides that, he did admit that he drugged them up to have sex with him. And he admitted that. Like I said, I ain't saying he was innocent. I'm not saying he was innocent at all. I'm not saying he was innocent. But I think at 83 years old, he about to kick the bucket anyway. I just think that was just to come back 30, 40 years, I think is a little too much. I really do. He admitted, so we know he did that. Hey, man, I don't disagree with you at all. And I don't disagree with you at all. But if I feel like if a person brings a civil conviction, a civil lawsuit against that person to sue them for that, for the same situation, to me, it's like double jeopardy. You prosecute them twice. Being that he admitted to secretly drugging them to have sex with them, I don't care if he's 200 years old, he should be in jail. Well, a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people feel that way. A lot of people feel that way. And I think that's, we'll all have our opinions. And I just think, but look here. I feel a lot of ways about other situations too. I really do. Like, I don't know. I don't. I don't know. I don't know, sis. Now I don't say that he should get away with murder, but I feel like she got capital gain from this situation. She got capital gain against that situation. Just because you never filed charges against your abuser does not mean they shouldn't be charged if there was an opportunity to charge them. Now, at this point, I don't. If it were me, I don't even want to experience that. That's me though. I don't want. I feel like over the years I've healed from it. Um, and that's just something I don't choose to take myself or my children through. Or, well, the family members that really mean the most to me are gone, which are my father, my mother, and my brother. So yeah, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but at the same time, this conviction was he was prosecuted, and maybe the prosecution felt like they were doing what they had to do in order to prove their burden of proof. Maybe they did felt like they did what they had to do, and they wanted to pull out all stops to make sure that they won this case. I get that, but and however, I'm not specific about a certain individual. I'm just saying, in general, a lot of people don't file lawsuit against famous people because sometimes they feel like they know not win. Well, yeah, I mean, look at Michael Jackson. He's been accused of everything under the book, and that stuff still ain't none of it ever been proved. He paid off some of them people just to not go through whatever, but none of that stuff has ever been proven. None of it has ever been proven. I just think, it's hard to say, sister. It's hard to say. But I could be corrected. But at this particular point, I understand that he was wrong. And yes, they sued him. They got monetary gain, which is something that I think they could benefit more from than him being locked up, is money. I think she could benefit much more by hurting his pocket and putting his old behind bars at 80 something years old. So I don't know, but we'll see. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go off of here, and I'm gonna wait until about after 4 o'clock when you off of work, so we can have this conversation, uh, video to video. I can't say face to face. So I'm gonna come back. Plus, I got something I needed to do, but I did not want to let this. I didn't want to let this breaking news go. We'll be back. Hopefully my sister Tanya, who I love talking to, and I love it because we can agree to disagree, but we still love each other, and we still gonna keep loving on each other. And she gives me another way of thinking, and I might be able to give her another way of thinking, but that's what makes her the hood table, and that's what makes me Sis-Lo newsworthy. You heard? So don't forget to like, subscribe, share the video. We'll be back, hopefully, when Tanya has some time. Let me see. So that'll probably be around 5 or 6 o'clock my time. I love you. Peace.